All right, fifth, sixth, we are working on absolute value right now. And they seem to be doing a really good job, but I wanted to send some tips out as we potentially get a little more complex. Absolute value is really just distance from zero. Okay, so really that means everything's going to end up being positive for the most part. If we're talking about distance from zero, the real world application here are things like altitude, elevation, and then direction. If I want to know, for example, how far away I am coming from the east versus how far away you are coming from the west, things like that are going to have absolute value be something really important. It's also really wonderful to use if we're talking about ordering things. For example, a student today said, is negative 0.5 or negative 1 closer to 0? Well, if we made absolute value on that, it might be easier for us to kind of wrap our heads around. So just a friendly reminder about 3 scenarios you might run into. If you have an absolute value of a positive 5, well, that's still 5 from 0. So really, that was kind of silly. It's 5. The distance from 0 of negative 5, and we used an example in class today about a super spy. We had a house or a building, and my super spies work underground, and then normal, boring old citizens work up here. Well, if there was a fire, then these people are going to go down 2 stories. These people are still going to come up 2 stories. They have to go the same distance to escape, right? The distance of negative 5 is still 5 from 0. We're going to still be positive 5. Now, this is where we start getting a little, am I overthinking it? What's going on? We still want to work kind of a simplifying approach, and we want to take care of all the absolute values before anything else. So the absolute value of 5, well, we know that from this one. It's 5. And so we still have this negative on the outside. The final answer is going to be negative 5. Okay, we get into also some other tricky stuff like order of operations. We're going to see things like negative 5 times 3 inside an absolute value. Don't panic. We're still doing the same thing. We're doing our negative 5 times 3. Well, that's negative 15, right? Why? Friendly reminder. A positive times a positive, it's a positive. I like to say, twins, yay, so positive, so exciting. A negative times a negative, woohoo, twins. It's a positive. And a positive and a negative, oh. This is a situation where you could come up with your own way to memorize them if my scenario doesn't work for you. But in this case, now I know negative times positive is negative. It's going to be negative 15. The absolute value of negative 15, well, that's still 15 from 0. So the final answer would be 15. Okay, the kids are doing great with this. This is usually a pretty simple concept. We just struggle with overthinking a little bit. And so I wanted to give you guys some of these things as a reminder in case you're helping your students with your homework.